the type of Green Council now, the day that they do them way, their responsibility to honor the people of this country for can explain to honor the policies, the programs which they do, for them to be accountable to honor, and for them to continue the civic discourse, civic engagement with the people of this country. I want to say since we started, probably one of the biggest days they will ever get. In terms of sectors in this country, in terms of people the way they in charge of huge parts of the country in business. A big honor and privilege for me, for the people that I respect, where they do fantastic work as public servants there. I want to start for say some people who put out this poster, and this is for so now 3 with credit. I get plenty response across the board. Saying that 3 of the top public servants in a salon you get so today. Many people, including people who are normal critics, will give accolades to each and every one of my 3 panelists that I have. So I want to start by saying again, me and man will be in blue skies. In the midst of challenges that this country, people that they do their work. When the people of Salon will say, on a 3 area, one of the people that are exceptional public servants, they want to congratulate you for that. And I look forward to this conversation. We get the distinguished governor of the Bank of Salon, Dr. Ibrahim Stevens, where they can provide updates on the transition to the new loans, digital inclusion, and any updates we want to provide. We also get the new Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, with our sister, Madam Geneva Baka Mangura. It can also provide updates on revenue generation for the government of Salon. And last, but by no means the least, we get the senior comrade, the brother who all they call Gomas, but his name now Mr. Mohammed Masapoy, we are the Director General at the National Civil Registration Agency, NCI. As usual, before we come to the panelists, I just provide some updates on government business over the past week. Tuesday, 13th February, His Excellency President Leone received the members of the Salon Robotics team. We government in support for them participate in the first Global Robotics Challenge in Singapore. The Robotics Challenge competition for high school students for learn build industrial size robots and for play field game with other team there. The team that will be competes them in common 191 countries there, and we team will secure 50 position among 141 and coming 6 in Africa. President Bio also received with brother Aegis Elba and a team of investors, including Zoe Sanokban, CEO of Octopus Energy, and Tamar Kashtan, some of the city video. We, me, brother, the press secretary already share. So this is a part of President Bio, a commitment for continuing to attract investments in Salon, and the conversation around the Shadow Island City project in a special economic zone. The idea now for them build a world-class Afro-dynamic eco-city for West Africa, part of which we call now the Shadow Island. Is the Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Salon, the Right Honorable Dr. Mohamed Jules Jallo, over the weekend in the margins of the 37th General Assembly of the African Union Head of State and Government, the brief members of the African Union Committee of 10 on the reform of the United Nations Security Council. The Vice President represents His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio and commend the President of Equatorial Guinea for hosting the summit and really show the commitment to the common African position where they all don't take for advanced Africa in role at the international community. The Chief Minister, Dr. Moin Asenge, said don't come back home after he participates in the World Government Summit in Dubai. During the visits, the Chief Minister gets plenty high-level meeting them and for advanced use of technology and for improved service delivery and revenue mobilization. digitalization and reduce bureaucracy in the public sector. So, we tell them thank you for your work we go there. At the AU Summit as well, we've been seeing the news say Salondon be unanimously elected to the African Union Peace and Security Council. So in addition to the presence at the UN Security Council, they also put in at the AU Security Council. This is a part of the continued respect for the country they get and they show me around the world. Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Sergio Aziz Kamara, and the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Khadija Ahene Kamara, then participated at the World Conference on Culture and Arts Education Dubai. And I see one final update where I will present that last week we also see the news say, following the recommendation of the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, me as the minister, will take the step for us, the leadership of the Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, for step aside, and we set up an interim oversight body led by the permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Joe Mima, for let it will provide oversight until the transition happens. Family will say, His Excellency, we don't pick Madam Josephine Kamara as the new Director General of SLBC, but not start yet to wait for parliamentary approval. Why landing the happen? Because the outgoing DG don't go now as chair of IMC, vacuum the tenure of the board also will expire. So we take the extraordinary step for us leadership for step aside again. We don't remove anybody from their job, we discuss with them, we consult with everybody, and we follow the law. We advise everything that the law say, and we say we get social media lawyer, then we do social media, we declare, then the lawyer, then the judge, they don't declare already. But I just want to let family know that we commit and follow the law very strictly on this issue. Alright. And all the updates we will get for now. I want to turn the microphone over to a very distinguished panel audience now. As I say, top public servants in this country. Bank Governor, I start with you. Last week, I get the privilege for Boo Putloko. And I did a town hall. In border, I'll be Friday there. I'll be did it together. We engage the people of Putloko. There's one very important comment here. When we say the transition from old laws to new laws, in fact, it was a long transition. People let me worry. Country be worry. You set the date. You say, on this date, will you make that transition? We can at this press conference, we discuss how, we entertain plenty of questions. People let me worry. In fact, some of we will come on a far away place, in a bomb. People will call me plenty, this guy for people, they sell me money, this. To your credit, the transition don't happen. Like somebody can say nobody no die. Nobody no die. And by and large, it has been done with absolute applause. You and your team, when I don't do this transition, no scarcity no happen, no complaint on day where you see people don't say, hey, this is a transition, we don't want to save money on there at all. This is an opportunity for them to explain to the people how una do it and who we do right now as a country when it comes to this issue of the transition to the new law and the stewardship of the Bank of Salone. Over to you, Governor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Good afternoon, family. I'm really glad the way you invite me to come to this press conference. You're right. We don't do quite a lot over the past 2 to 3 months. But I think also for start this talk, I will tell people and thank you. Tell the public plenty thank you. When we make this announcement, I think around early to mid-November, we make this announcement, say December 31, 2023, all Leone will stop for illegal tender. People believe we, then trust what we tell them. We said two things. First, we're not going to lose nothing. No wash, no do anything for try to create problem for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we don't plan this in a very simple but organized way. We say if you go to any bank after the 31st, so from the 1st of January this year, till March, at the 1st of March, they will take your money. You don't need to worry for anything. The second thing what we do is we make sure so we get enough stock. The staff then tell me, say, in the past 5 years and the first Christmases, we have been way pressure on the bank. Say, well, let me thank God, we plan ourselves well. But it don't stop there. You know, you can plan well, but sometimes the thing go happen where you don't make up. So we continuously be engaged. We send people and go applying. We engage with the chieftain, the paramount chieftain. And as I talk to you, so we maintain that dialogue there. But the good news is, based on the records we get at the Bank of Sierra Leone, we don't collect over 85% of the money we lay outside. Over 85%. We still get 10, as I say, until end of March. You can go to any bank, any side. They're not supposed to charge you nothing. They're not supposed to ask you for opening accounts with them. Just get your identification for sure so that you and the person will count the money. They're supposed to accept them from you by directive. But even if you miss the end of March, end of next month, you don't need to worry because you can still bring an account in the Bank of Sierra Leone, or we get one main agent who they use, the Apex Bank. Apex Bank are the daddy for all the community banks then. So you get access all over. You know, so between we and Apex Bank, we're going to mop up any of the remainder. We're still very quietly confident that most people will come in with whatever they get by the end of March. But this thing not to wait for anybody in that. Currency reform, the transition to a new currency, as long as you guide the public and you tell them the truth about what you want to try for do, you give them enough notice, problem not supposed to be. And we then don't use we now as a good example, Sierra Leone, as to how we manage this process over the past few months. But even building up to this time, you know, we don't engage with the banks, then we make sure so they get enough stock. We set in the bank so we make sure so we get enough stock, get enough storage space. So the logistics of actually the walkway involved, you know, of actually how to get this done, we don't put everything in place. And we continue to engage. We do mobile exchange. We set like I said, in Freetown, we go to Dead West, we go to Dead East, we go to the provinces, we go put local. And depending on what they hear, and we discuss with the chief, because they give me good information about how things they go at the locality then. We prepare for it and go further. Because we still get them. So the message to the public, I will say, thank you very much for the confidence you are getting we. Thank you very much for believe what you will tell now. You know, we're ready for take any event that we want to get. Because we as a central bank get a legal obligation for pay on demand, we know to no issue. And we will continue to do that. The bank then, and they do a lot of good work, but we make sure say they serve the public. So we get a consumer protection unit at the Bank of Sierra Leone, where if you hear anything, I will give the number. if you hear anything, if you say the bank need follow, you can tell the bank. Minister, after April, I want to give the country the assurance if you still get all that old money, kind of bank of Salon you will get new one. Or if we go out with Apex Bank or SSF, come it to any side. As long as we know, as long as that Leone we issue, and we know how to check them, they give face value of the new money, no problem at all. One last thing I want to touch on, that the abbreviation. I don't know one or two people they say, well, LE, SLE, MLE. So as I talk to my right now, the abbreviation way for you is not NLE. Because if you look at the regulation that been put out, the consequential regulation for the denomination, we say NLE. And then the international code, now SLE, all a capital letter, but the NLE now capital L, capital N, capital L, and small e. So it will be small e. Then the international code, where bank then they use for international transaction. If you use what to say EGON, or normally that international code is for international transaction. A capital S, capital L, and capital E. But you don't need to say the old LE the pueblo. Let's explain something. Right now, we get people with the go cabinet and the go parliament, for the parliament enact an amendment to the PSL Act so that NLE will become the new accepted abbreviation locally. But in order to pull LE, what people make in order to pull LE now because for historical and accounting purposes, you know, records them there will still be right with LE. So if you can't change everything for the NLE, even backwards, then it will create some confusion. So waiting Parliament will pass as we propose to Parliament, I think the cabinet now, they don't come on office, I think they will ask that they go Parliament. And for make Parliament retain LE in the Act just for historical purposes and accounting records because LE don't live from 1964 to 31st December 2023. NLE it don't in operation from 1st of July 2022, where the denomination begin and they continue. So we knew abbreviation NLE for international transaction, capital S, capital L, and capital E. So if you want to send money abroad, the bank SLE, go right. But we believe that this not will create any confusion, as I will explain. LE don't retire, but it's still in the book on the record. So, on the idea from today, when somebody look at records, they're going to say something with them at the LE, and then something fall around at NLE. The difference between the two is NLE at 1,000, you divide LE by 1,000 NLE. So now the last thing that I want to mention, and then Minister Lam pass to you, I will take a question then and answer any question around this issue.
Thank you very much. In fact, I want to say I will charge the journalists there for this free class who I get sooner today. But and we responsibility for the civic education. Governor, I want to put on record again, they have the people of this country and as the government of Salo, we will appreciation for the professionalism of you and your team, and for where you take your time again for break down this in such simple terms for family house. We'll make sure that this video go far and wide as well. We'll cut this out so we'll clarify this application issue as well, and we'll continue forward. So if you get a question again, the reminder is for use the code we get a mobile code, we get the slide page for let's say the question. There is now on the screen, with in front of me there as well, the barcode here on the invite will be sent all the time out. So you can send the question there if you get more than one question. I will answer. I will ask that question, make sure say your questions are answered. If now one big question you get, then you can wait for a chance inside the hall. But when I open up, now one question more you get a chance for ask. If you want to send more than one, send it online, and I go answer. Alright, now we come to NIA. Huge NIA. Everybody gets something to say about NIA. Whether we ask how NIA raise money for we, or whether the tax problem and all this. You just, when you return the NIA, and since you return, it's like your opportunity for come tell family. When you go, what you meet, and what you don't do so far, and how, what you for expect in terms of NIA work, particularly revenue mobilization inside 2024.
Okay, thank you, Minister. First of all, for way you give me the opportunity for come talk to family for the work we do. Na NIA, the work we do for support the government. Governor, I want to tell you thank you for the free lesson. Mr. Baby, the wonder. And as you talk, that's what I like. So I remember. This time is second term where this program you begin. At that time day, I began at the Ministry of Finance as Deputy Minister of Finance 1. So Minister invites me boss at that time, Minister of Finance, Sonata and say I said I join you. So me and come and support him. But as in began at the podium, emergency camp. So now I say General Council. So now the second term is for come here and I glad for there. And I think say we and Mulana party them. So I will go easy for the question. Before I answer Minister in question, waiting I meet and waiting I expect for you. It's funny for me to go back for tell from them how NIA do in 2023. Because in life, before you move forward, it's better for me to move back. So people will really understand what side you come out. From what I know, say, NIA, the target way we work for, now Parliament, they agree on at the end. So in 2023, we'll begin the year, the target way Parliament give we now 9.346 billion. And then during the year, a lot can happen. Ministry of Finance can take the budget, go back to Parliament, we start with get supplementary budgets, or the IMF can come and say, I know say something here for happening during the year, and they call them projection, so they can change the target for me. So mid-year 2023, that target they go up small bit for me. So they change them to 10.956. We go up small bit. But then again, during the year, anything can happen. As we all know, they go through the IMF program, which just ends. So when they come back, they say, no, the projection what we make for now, we say something not they happen. Or we say they happen this way, but they happen some other way. So they come back and reduce the target for we, and then we can come to 10.277 billion. So we end the year with that amount there. So throughout the year, all the effects they go up and down. Now that's we end with. But I just want to make me fun with the members say 2023 now be a challenging year for the world. We get election, we happen, and during that time they say businessman them. When they're not sure what's going to happen, and they hold on to the money. So we get a challenge there for grapple with. We can also not say towards the end of the year we get some security challenges there. And when they happen, businessman, and we can get confused towards the end of the year. But with all of that, we tie with Oja, NIA, and we make sure say we do the best to make sure say we make it on country cloud. So the actual amount from all three amounts that we don't give now, the actual amount will be coming that be 10.1 billion. Now if you compare them with the target for end plan, not so small, this number we miss, about 4%. But if you compare them to the original amount, if nothing not been changed, and we hold the original amount, now 8% more than we bring in. So with all the challenges then we will go through, and one of the biggest challenges then besides the election year, you know where IMF can come, they tell we say that they influence the development of the, well, we work with them for push the Finance Act together. And some of them will not say, because of the challenges they will get, we will implement none of them Finance Act again. So with all of what we go through, we still come in very little, or we don't come above if the original targets we don't keep. And then let me now tell you about 2024. So because we're not able to do it in all the implementations in the Finance Act for 2023, and then the Ministry of Finance can add the 2024 plan tab, then tell we say, Parliament say we approve on our budgets now for make it be 14.972 billion. We have 48% more than the 10.1 we were bringing last year. Not a small money, Daniel. But we do and the Ministry of Finance and the IMF will work together with the assumption that all what we were able to do last year, we did one this year, plus what's in itself for do this year for the Finance Act 2024, we did do one. And I want to make people and family know say we don't already begin work on that. Because we don't begin to reconfigure the systems. And for example, we all know say the Finance Act 2024 don't increase rates, import duty on less, cement, iron ore, cooking oil, and all of that. For make we able to implement that, we never play or reconfigure the systems in Asikuda with our customs. Also, the Finance Act we say, free quality education, very proud for say NRA, we support that and we continue for support. So within the Ministry of Finance say, the withholding tax where contractors then, when they work with contractors, who withhold money, prior to 2024, now is 6.5. But for them, we able to support the free quality education, development education fund, there is a 1%, we don't add 1%, so now 6.5. For them, we implement that, they will therefore now go on DTD department, when are they the large money, most of the money, over 60%, who they bring come, they come on that department there. We therefore go and tweak and system small bits, so we'll allow for that 1%. So from them, I want for people to know say, as of January 1, what are the dates where the Finance Act for implement or for begin? We don't fix with systems then for begin for collect that tax. And for that, I want for people to know say, the year don't begin strong for revenue mobilization. Normally, January is a very slow month. But this January, we try because we don't begin to implement not only what we were able to do for 2023, but we don't able to do for 2024 in addition to the additional written call. I want to wrap much quickly on the reforms where NRA belong undertake. And I'm glad the waiting NRA plan to do, or belong to do, and what will they continue for do, it feed into the big 5 game changers we come for technology. NIA, we're very ambitious because when we all begin with the reforms, we're not just do on one department. We start with customs, as we all know, if we look at the records. We take away Asikuda awards, one of the prosperous, very antiquated, very old system. We turn them over, make them world, for make sure say we able to compete not only within the West African region, but also within the country, within the nationwide, globally. So we do that in our customs, and we already use that system there, we are not saying our web-based. Before we make that change, if you don't go down to customs, you're not able to do your work. But since we make that change, any side we in the world, you will able to begin your declaration and do them without even the effort in a salon. And one big advantage to that functionality, to that system, now the text messages. We all know say if you're an agent, if you get your text, if you get your telephone number in the system, every step along the way will they notify you whose side you process it. Unlike in those days, first you kind of finance or you kind of NRA, it was only paper day. You don't need to come to me anymore. You go to any side, we go able to reach you with the text messages. For ETD, as I tell you, now 60% of what we do, what we bring coming, that day to day. We don't do so many reforms. We don't hear about the ITAS, we don't hear about the ECR. The ECR will get small challenge, and the ECR now they use for collect with GST. And we don't talk time and again that it's important for make family ask for the ECR machine. When you go spend money, that GST, now you they pay. Not only businessman they pay. You they give them for make the pass amount to government. But if you don't ask for your receipt, that businessman they keep that money and they add them for multiply in business. Meanwhile, the money was supposed to come to government for make sure say we get good road, we get hospital, we get school, we get anything what we're able to afford as a government in all the camp, like businessman benefits. So it is important that we ask for our receipts. The reforms that what we do, what we don't begin for do, now for really make the taxpayer in life better. Before the reforms, then pass you can and we don't want to make you can we want to really separate the businessman from coming to NLA. But anytime we can NLA, me know for sure say something they pass, and we don't want to NLA continue for happen. Now for that, and for support the system, make sure say you use the system. And if you don't use the system, not to person will not collect the money, but it will cost you more, and we don't want to let it cost you more. So Minister, I want to stop there. And I know that they have a good question, and I get enough information for respond to the questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Commissioner General. Family, I start by saying we get the finest public servants in this country. They know what we talk about. The substance, incredible. The reform work, incredible. You know, I got it today because often, if you just listen to social media, it's all things and just go on. But the important part of the family, let you just take a minute and reflect on. We get systems in the way they operate. They're not perfect. We don't transition to a new currency. We don't do them very well. We get major reform in the happen at the banking sector. And I know we'll come back to the governor to talk about digital inclusion because you just financial inclusion because you just mentioned that as well and how they transition and using that. But then also NIA. Let's start with the target. Last year, if we tell you say NIA meet 96% of their target last year. Many people have said this because they only get not 96% back. But in fact, the original target what they said, they exceeded by 8%. And now they don't put in place measures there for even do better than we did in the last year. We get a competent senior leadership team where His Excellency don't put in place. We will continue to work with the infrastructure we don't meet and then they enforce this reform them and then they do amazing work. Digital systems, rolling tax, all the things they don't put in place. Then for let them make your life easy. And I don't say like I would say CGO or local. I will explain to people and say when you complain about tax, that the most basic thing about tax is like for what you owe. If government don't get money, all the complain when the government increase salaries. It's true. But if government don't get money, government cannot. And the only way government they get that money, that way you continue to pay the tax. And it's so simple. You pay that tax anyway. You civic responsibility now for make sure say the tax comes to government instead of a left to the businessman. Then we can ask for that simple receipts there. So these are all a part of real responsibility now as citizens. Now for move to the other sector again. You know, as I said, it's in a good day for this press conference because we want to talk about ID cards. In fact, I understand saying commerce when people are there do it. So anybody we don't explain though. NCIA decides we don't explain though. Anybody want to test the system right now, my yard. Outside of this remote, you can go there and go give your phone number and take a picture. And you immediately get a text message for the section forget your national identity card. But I want to hand over now to Mr. Mohamed Masako, Director General at NCIA, for make it explain to you the reforms that we want to take place and why this national identity card important and this deadline we will not set. Waiting at the idea behind the deadline and why make people for move and take the identity card and the steps that we don't take for make it easy for the family. Over to you. You can use that mic.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And when we talk about the identity, the way you governor they say, talk about money business. Commissioner General talk about payment of taxes. Now what they do all around now the people. What do they do with the people then? How do you get them to let them do what you want to do? Why they pay tax? Get to the bank to do this. It is who you know the people. What do they make you know them? Through identity. Who knows the identity? It's the NCRA. If you don't know them, they cannot pay tax. They will evade tax. They will balance tax. If you don't know them, you will risk your money at the bank. You will pay the wrong person. You will loss. That's what critical importance for identity. Today, we're happy for the and we want to use this forum for many people to understand, say, when you talk about identity, not for government no more, but for you yourself as an individual. Because for make government able to take care of you, for support you, you therefore make a known that you exist. And when you are not existing anymore, you don't die, you therefore make you, the people that will make a known, say, government knows, say, that person isn't anymore. And that's how when happen, government they update the records, only for that, nothing will go to you, government will make provision for support other person. Identity they cut across everyone, every sector. From when they born you, when you die. At the NCRA, when you talk about innovation, things what government they do with good with new in a different way where they benefit the people of this country. Now, one clear example we define at NCRA. Before we take over governance, when you talk about NCRA, that's something that what they call National Registration Secretariat, NRS. When you talk about that, that's anything. They say, let you go work here or let you did it. Nobody knows for member who go near this. That time, when you retire or when you don't retire, they say, oh, the manager, they do some more assignment day. Or when they want to publish it, they say, oh, send an NRS. But that 90 don't change from 2018. That's anybody will be proud for opening NCRA, or forget business with NCRA, or forget NCRA product, whether a card, or birth certificate, or death certificate, or marriage certificate, or anything so far we concern Mortimer, whether you live or you die, or you don't die. So, when we talk about working a lot, for make sure say we get respect, we get integrity, things the way the world will look at and say, Salon don't do well, or Salon they do very well. When they admire Salon, when it can happen many times now in recent times, people they come out across other countries for Ghana Salon, for us, when I NCRA, how government don't do for let this change to for let government respect on our documents in this country. 2 weeks ago, we just get the Minister of Internal Affairs from Netherlands. They say, Pastor, tell me how they work in this country. What you are going to do is different. Because they share experience, all the documents that they get from other countries, and how Salon identity information don't change for the good, for all. They will be there for no place. And none of them will not get from Netherlands, from Ethiopia, from Tanzania, from Nigeria, etc., etc. We are doing so because we get support at the highest level of government. So when we got to over governance in 2018, we make sure say the law always say for account for anybody within this country. You did, Usa you did, you know what you do. Everything concerning you from when you don't born, till you die. We get record of that. The essence for that is to make sure say government, they will get the other institutions who support government in terms of getting information, resources, financial or otherwise, for support government work, free quality education, field salon, etc., etc. And through the identity, we don't do a lot of reforms. One clear case is we will support for the last couple of years the National Revenue Authority for make sure so they know exactly who that get this business, who that this taxpayer. Before we can government, check numbers in the area will get 3, 4, 5 business. But if they only pay tax for one, they want all government again nothing. Now example of what of this. But when we begin work with NRA, we able to give them access to see how they track their identity, the people they will pay tax. You know they have balance tax again because if you are Mohammed Masako, you get business, you do pharmaceutical business, you do general supplies, you have cleaning service, you get 3 businesses. Then 3 businesses are all tied to what you call that magic number, the national identification number. We know the escape. Whether you're not a twin or you get many Mohammed Mubashir Masakois, that number may be distinctly, clearly identify all the 1,000 Mohammed Mubashir Masakois. They don't duplicate. The government, the law say we know they will use that. Through that, we able now know exactly whether there is 3 business and for make sure say for pay for that 3 business tax. What in the effort for make sure say we enforce compliance. And that supports the NRA. Make sure say whose government supporter say able mobilize resources for government. Now we say we will not get all the records on almost 90% of all men in this country, including, I'm sure, all of you in this room. We say, government say, no, they don't say we as a government will very much take law serious. We know the Takadiki. She take law then and no. We say, the law say people must be identified. The last over 10 years, they never be the key, we don't get ID card in this country. And the ID card will be the get. You know they get that kind of security feature where you go make, counterfeit or forger. Where you use a normal, you can change and what could they have with identity. But we make sure say now we design one where we not just because we say we are government or salon say that we make this ID card this way. We consult far and widely. We bring in international partners. We follow ECOWAS, AU, and UN guidelines for make sure say how identity for look like. So that when anybody when they come out salon they get ID card, they go Austria for instance present it. They don't say no, it is in line with what you do the world say. Not to that word order for salon no more. No, this one we will do this year. This time as a government, we make sure say you will be proud of them. Whosoever you pull up. And now they can attract even with international partners that they can, they take with ID card. And so we start to produce the ID cards. But the good thing about how we do your ID cards this time, we don't make sure say you don't need for common picture for example say ID card. We do how we call it decentralized service. You then Kaila no move pay. Just go to our office, do your application process. You within 72 hours, you go to the ID card, which was never the case. What did that mean? We don't make sure say that transport will be pulled from Kaila, from Kerala, from Makeni, for Calfreton, for can't take ID card. The inconvenience will be the get when you come Makeni for can't take ID card, for lodging, for internal transport, for feeding. Government say no, don't take that money. Don't put that away. Take the service to people that are endorse them and let them get it. The good thing is it's important for people to say ID card is very much important for all because now in here the personal information, everything about you now on ID card in here. Now the law call multi-purpose national ID card. That ID card They get you details, including your information about your parents and your family. So that's in the day where somebody will grab no more because you get power, you get some influence. It claims it, now your papa and all that kind of person because you don't die, you get property. When you don't get any trace of your family history, then they will use some other means for yeah. We as a government will not be corruption anymore. We say, if you are Mohamed Massaquoi, truly you are Mohamed Massaquoi. You want to phone Massaquoi, you want to add a Massaquoi, you can buy a Basho, you have all of those ones. It's clear there. So you don't even miss me on name for let you take something, you have to do what I think. You are reliably and precisely identified. And so, because you get that number there, you pass the information, you get with you what we call a national identification number. They get various names. America, they call them social security number. Ghana, they call them national ID number. Nigeria call them the same way as how they call them. So that number there, 1986, they clearly identify who are you, what it be. So in case you can get one talk per name, we are not going to talk about that number. And the law says, even when you die, you hold that number there. We will only change that column from you after 150 years. So that tells you that it's not a change. We are enforcing that as a government. So you need that ID card because by law now, governments, the law say, now that ID, now you use for access services in this country. Which kind of service so? It's long. But like governor say, you want to go to the transaction of bank. Now that ID, you use to get information. You NIN. So they don't miss you. But to get service to the bank. First step, when they go apply for loan in a bank, if you take bank say 2-3 weeks or 1 month or more, for really know your history, who are you. But when we don't work with the Bank of Sierra Leone, all the banks through the Bank of Sierra Leone, and I'm happy that Governor himself now a very strong advocate for the NIN and financial inclusion. Well, the partner so. When you now go for go check, for go take loan, if you get bad debt na Eco Bank, you want balance and you want go take loan na Standard Bank. When you see Standard Bank or Eco Bank check, send information to governor and BSF. For those that are Moses Vili, if you know directly, Moses Vili get bad debt na Eco Bank, they get bad debt na Commercial Bank. So what happens? They will now advise that bank when you go for go take that loan, they say, that man will want to give money and so. It gets also record. Now, so it happened in the first world. When you see America, they advance that, you don't see a simple, a common, and that's not what it is very serious. So, if they support criminality, if you don't get people that identity right. So, I said that possible with the way they take money, I know you don't get it all, they run away. But it's not possible anymore. And that,
I need to ask you, I know say this, the goodies for this ID card is plenty. Because I want you 2 extra minutes now, because I want you more time now, and I have to open up to questions. So let you focus in these 2 minutes on the deadline and why that deadline is important for the people that get an ID card.
Important because we don't sit down with all the sectors. We say by the 31st of March, by let all men get an ID card. The reason being, because you don't want to go get service in any of the sectors. You go apply for admission at university, they ask for ID information you don't get. You don't limit the chance. They will lie in and government say, because I'm not supporter, they know that I'm not going to college. Not lie. Or you go get a bank loan a bank. They say, oh boy, that government that don't send to governor, but they not give me loan because if I get to support some other person. Not lie. So it's now, you now get responsibility for say, get the ID. They are available. All the districts and in some other outlets. Go take the ID so that you don't go miss the opportunity the government will provide. Or we still need for field development in this country. That I know to say, go out by the 31st of March. No reason say we don't get facility. It's open. Maybe on Saturdays, we'll get it all to midday. So go there and get the ID. That I know because we normally hear you say they don't let people from government service or government support. Say go take care. And when you take that, when you go inside for go access service, you will get it. Another people don't connect now the platform with many MDAs. So we can have any ID, They check systems, they won't not produce. Now you self. That will be the deadline. Now for the people themselves, they will not say tomorrow, government don't pull me out as on June. Now for them, you feel self inside. But that's not left out. That's the essence of it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed Masakoi, Director General NCRE. I'm very proud to say I get my national ID card. We already there, we get your ID card. If you didn't know, you don't get. If you're not from Bolivia, host, you don't get. I will encourage you to let you get to you. It's like a unique identity as a Sierra Leonean. It's like a source of pride. Who we live in the West, I also get me US ID card now. You don't go no side, so you don't get it. You know any side go, you want to buy something, say they ask you. Identity now you show you pass. Say, so we will transition now into a society where we say, the Director General say, forget bank transactions. For let you get any other transaction you see, exam or public exam where you want to open account to, you want government benefit to, you want to register for land or you want to go register in to car. Anything you get now from March 31, now power mandatory, you forget. The good news is forget the ID card. Again, this is another blue skies news. But good thing as salons that they forget, as I say, a government service forget. I don't want to call any government particular institution in name. But as I say, government is using that to line. You forget Sababu. We go there, if you get temperature, they go up, push there, they get time. This is my ID card, I prove them. I've been there up you building, I told her last week. I come down na you building, I don't talk to nobody. I don't make minister for call first my colleague. I just go there, at dinner. I tell you, man, say, I come for my ID card. I give my number, he pull out. 2 minutes. I get a text message, they snap me, I pay, I go up. 2 days later, I get text message, I go down, I collect my ID card. I collect. No, it's true. When things go well, we will also applaud the people that will create the system. And now we did and then I don't know so, would they encourage you for the work. Okay, now, welcome to the heart of the matter. Questions. Patience again. This game here again. Ooh. This is a very popular question. Alright, we'll do the first 5 and then we come back again. The man in a very colorful shirt, my Indian number 1. That man did number 2. Yes, you, number 2. The end, yes, in the blue. You, the number 3. The one in the green, the number 3. Mr. Kamara, the number 4 right now, and the gentleman, the number 5. You will next one. So we take them out with the first 5 inside the circle, and then we go out. Alright. Let's do it sharp. If you knew that I will repeat the rules to you. The rules are very clear. The only superstar that will get are the people over at this podium. I don't want to know other star. Your job now for ask you questions straight and to the point. Go.
Me and John Kelly, I report for Daybreak newspaper. Mr. Governor, before you take the governorship of Ibadan, your predecessor, when Dr. Kalon starts this denomination process. And it began to the time say the old Leones will go away and new Leones will come in place. But since then, that time not been it. And we'll be doing it in a condition where one country and 2 more will be in place, which leads to inflation and the exchanges of war. So, which step up? You can't do these things once and for all. They will still say you need to the point. What you see say the lack for make the one way bank government will say from our the apple in our person. Thank you.
Number 2. Also, if they don't ask you question, do you not ask again? Go.
My name is Mohammed Al Kamara. I write for Daily Scope newspaper. Yes, sir. According to Forbes, 2023, December 31st. The Sierra Leonean currency, they ranked among the 10 weakest currencies in the world. What does this mean to you, and how you will tackle this?
Thank you. Next one.
Yes, as I'm Bishop of Four times. Madam Commissioner, you say the year 2024 starts good. One breakdown, how many they collect daily, weekly, and monthly if possible.
Mr. Kamadi, number 4.
Mohammed Commander of the Watch and the Secretary Administrator. Bank of Nosa, tell us, how does the global wars, pandemic, affect the inflationary and devaluation rate and the type of make the transition from old to new loans?
Thank you. If the superstar don't ask short question, you will not a superstar. If you ask long question, I catch you. Alright, clear. Go on.
The name is Francis Watson, I'm on the report for Sierra Academy blog. So, somebody who watched the live, they asked this question, say, in the future of the ID card, to Mr. Masakoi, precisely, say, in the future of the ID card, they say, what if they adopt them? Because probably when you register with the original parent, and later on the adopter, whether if that will affect them from getting inheritance from an adopted parent.
Alright, good. Thank you. See, easy. 5 questions. You can answer them. We'll get another round. So, questions. Mr. Mariah, question about follow look back. We've seen we learn from the former bank governor. The governor already talked, say, one for look forward, but I'll get a chance still. Somebody did the scope. They say Forbes say we will get the 10th weakest currency in the world. And the 2023 Kawana data day, putting a name into it, that it will be for the governor as well. Concord Times one know, Madam Commissioner, almost we collect every day, every week, every month. One know all the details of how much they collect, so outstanding. New resident celebrity now, Mr. Kamara, among the journalists and we always celebrate Mr. Kamara, and the dean of the Unawe new we guest them, and we dean of the journalists American Mr. Kamara. He see how the global issues, pandemic and others, affect this with transition. And then a very technical question for you, Mr. Masako. Say if somebody parental detailed information change, whose effects that legal gets on identification process. I think that question is giving. I ask them broadly on parental detail, but other things that they will change as well for people there. Right? Some people that they will change certain things, will discover certain things. Basically, those opportunities they will not get for all time information there. So how do you do? I will start with you, Governor, because I think you have the big ones, and then we will do, because we want to do a couple of rounds. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the people who asked the question. I think I get 3 questions. The first one about what we don't do differently. Like I say, and the minister say, we look for, but we'll explain again what we do. We come out very clearly, and we know say we don't strong footing. We make sure we get enough stock, and we'll be very clear about the transition. But most important, we give an insurance. What's in that insurance? We say between the 1st of January and 31st of March, if you get your money go in any financial institution, they will change them for you, or you can go to a bank of salon. But no worry, you know they lost nothing. After the 31st of March, or the 1st of April, if you get your money go to the bank of Sierra Leone, we go exchange them for you. As long as that money go Bank of Sierra Leone issue, because we have an obligation, we say we promise to pay on demand that amount. We will give you an equivalent face value. So now that's we say, and we stick to that and continue for maintain that point. Sierra Leone currency being the 10th weakest, I normally get knocking out for comments on NTR because the Mexico that they use sometimes very awkward because it's not a like for like. But look, the fact of the matter is you need to engage in more economic productivity and more export receipt for strengthening the currency. So in terms of waiting efficient we for do, and we do them right now. For example, and the central bank, although independent, he by law supposed to support the economic policy of the government. The government they do big things them like feed salon, for example, agriculture. Agriculture will stand a big chance. Even the central bank they support agriculture. During the pandemic time, we've been able to do an agricultural credit facility, and we're about to hold that over. In fact, so Minister another use that but we're about to hold that over, so we will provide access and support to the agricultural sector. But we just need for and more export receipts. The more export receipts we earn, the stronger our position will be. Our external balance becomes very strong, and we currency because now we they sell lens in the day, so that they can buy we goods them. So we they get better weight, and we exchange it will be stronger. So the answer to your question now more earning of foreign currency. The third question about how the global wars and pandemic,